I am Ra. I greet you in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. We communicate now. Question 73.1. Questioner, could you please give me an indication of the instrument's condition? Answer, I am Ra. It is as previously stated with the exception of the vital energy level which is distorted more nearly towards that which is normal for this entity. Question 73.2. Questioner, has the banishing ritual that we have performed been helpful for this contact? Answer, I am Ra. The ritual described has gained with each working and making efficacious the purity of contact needed not only for the Ra contact but for any working of the adept. Question 73.3. Questioner, thank you. I would like to thank Ra at this time for the opportunity to be of service to those on this sphere who would want to have the information that we gained here. You stated that free will, one pointed in service to others, had the potential of alerting a great mass of light strength. I assume that the same holds precisely true for the service to self-polarity. Is this correct? Answer, I am Ra. This is incorrect but subtly so. In invocation and evocation of what may be termed negative entities or qualities, the expression alerts the positively oriented equivalent. However, those upon the service to others pathway to be called and can only send love. Question 73.4. Questioner, what I was trying to get at was that this alerting of light strength is, as I see it, a process that must be totally a function of free will, as you say, and as the desire and will and purity of desire of the adept increases, the alerting of light strength increases. Is this part of it the same for both the positive and negative potentials, and am I correct with this statement? Answer, I am Ra. To avoid confusion we shall simply restate for clarity your correct assumption. Those who are upon the service to others path may call upon the light strength in direct proportion to the strength and purity of their will to serve. Those upon the service to self path may call upon the dark strength in direct proportion to the strength and purity of their will to serve. Question 73.5. Questioner, I will undoubtedly make many errors in my statements today because what I am trying to do is guess at how this works and let you correct me. In considering the exercise of the middle pillar, I have thought it might be wrong in that in it the adept sees or visualizes the light moving downward from the crown chakra down to the feet. Ra has stated that the Creator enters from the feet and moves upward, that this spiraling light enters from the feet and moves upward. It seems to me that the adept alerting the light strength, in visualizing the use of this, would visualize it entering the feet and energizing it first, the red energy center, and then moving upward through the energy centers in that fashion. Is this correct? Answer, I am Ra. No. Question 73.6. Questioner, could you tell me where I am wrong in that statement? Answer, I am Ra. Yes. Question 73.7. Questioner, would you please do that? Answer, I am Ra. There are two concepts with which you deal. The first is the great way of the development of the light in the microcosmic mind, body, spirit. It is assumed that an adept will have its energy centers functioning smoothly and in a balanced manner to its best effort before a magical working. All magical workings are based upon evocation and or invocation. The first invocation of any magical working is that invocation of the magical personality, as you are familiar with this term. In the working of which you speak, the first station is the beginning of the invocation of this magical personality, which is invoked by the motion of putting on something. Since you do not have an item of apparel or talisman, the gesture which you have made is appropriate. The second station is the evocation of the great cross of life. This is an extension of the magical personality to become the Creator. Again, all invocations and evocations are drawn through the violet energy center. This may then be continued towards whatever energy centers are desired to be used. Question 73.8. Questioner, then will you speak of the difference between the spiraling light that enters through the feet and the light invoked through the crown chakra? Answer, I am Ra. The action of the upward spiraling light drawn by the will to meet the inner light of the one infinite Creator may be likened to the beating of the heart and the movement of the muscles surrounding the lungs and all the other functions of the parasympathetic nervous system. The calling of the adept may be likened to those nerve and muscle actions over which the mind, body, spirit complex has conscious control. Question 73.9. Questioner, previously you stated that where the two directions meet you have a measure of the development of the particular mind, body, spirit complex. Am I correct? Answer, I am Ra. This is correct. Question 73.10. Questioner, it would seem to me that the visualization of the invocation would be dependent upon what the use was to be of the light. The use could be for healing, communication, or for the general awareness of the creation and the creator. Would you please speak on this process and my correctness in making this assumption? Answer, I am Ra. We shall offer some thoughts, though it is doubtful that we may exhaust this subject. Each visualization, regardless of the point of the working, begins with some work within the indigo ray. As you may be aware, the ritual which you have begun is completely working within the indigo ray. This is well, for it is the gateway. From this beginning light may be invoked for communication or for healing. You may note that in the ritual which we offered you to properly begin the Ra workings, the first focus is upon the Creator. We would further note a point which is both subtle and of some interest. The upward spiraling light developed in its path by the will, and ultimately reaching an high place of mating with the inward fire of the one Creator, still is only preparation for the work upon the mind, body, spirit which may be done by the adept. There is some crystallization of the energy centers used during each working so that the magician becomes more and more that which it seeks. More importantly, the time-space mind, body, spirit analog, which is evoked as the magical personality, has its only opportunity to gain rapidly from the experience of the catalytic action available to the third density space-time mind, body, spirit. Thus the adept is aiding the Creator greatly by offering great catalyst to a greater portion of the creation which is identified as the mind, body, spirit totality of an entity. Question 73.11. Questioner, desire and will are the factors in this process. Is this correct? Answer, I am Ra. We would add one quality. In the magical personality, desire, will, and polarity are the keys. Question 73.12. Questioner, many so-called evangelists which we have in our society at present have great desire and very great will, and possibly great polarity, but it seems to me that in many cases that there is a lack of awareness that creates a less than effective working in the magical sense. Am I correct in this analysis? Answer, I am Ra. You are partially correct. In examining the polarity of a service to others, working the free will must be seen as paramount. Those entities of which you speak are attempting to generate positive changes in consciousness while abridging free will. This causes the blockage of the magical nature of the working, except in those cases wherein an entity freely desires to accept the working of the evangelist, as you have called it. Question 73.13. Questioner, what was the orientation with respect to this type of communication for the one known as Jesus of Nazareth? Answer, I am Ra. You may have read some of this entity's workings. It offered itself as teacher to those mind, body, spirit complexes which gathered to hear, and even then spoke as through a veil so as to leave room for those not wishing to hear. When this entity was asked to heal, it oft times did so, always ending the working with two admonitions. Firstly, that the entity healed had been healed by its faith, that is, its ability to allow and accept changes through the violet ray into the gateway of intelligent energy. Secondly, saying always, tell no one. These are the workings which attempt the maximal quality of free will while maintaining fidelity to the positive purity of the working. Question 73.14. Questioner, an observation of the working itself by another entity would seem to me to partially abridge free will in that a seemingly magical occurrence had taken place as the result of the working of an adept. This could be extended to any phenomenon which is other than normal or acceptable. Could you speak on this paradox that is immediately the problem of anyone doing healing? Answer, I am Ra. We are humble messengers of the law of one. To us there are no paradoxes. The workings which seem magical and, therefore, seem to infringe upon free will do not, in themselves, do so, for the distortions of perception are as many as the witnesses, and each witness sees what it desires to see. Infringement upon free will occurs in this circumstance only if the entity doing the working ascribes the authorship of this event to itself or its own skills. He who states that no working comes from it but only through it is not infringing upon free will.